Have you ever felt bloated even though you haven't eaten very much? Or maybe you're struggling with sluggish digestion despite eating healthily? Well, there's a hidden rhythm in your gut that is working behind the scenes like a caretaker or a janitor, and it's cleaning up after every meal. It's called the MMC, or the Migrating Motor Complex, and it might just be the most important gut function you've never heard of. So today we're diving into the Migrating Motor Complex, the MMC, what it is, how it works, and why it matters, and what disrupts it. Because understanding this simple but powerful process can be a game changer for your digestion, your gut health, your overall wellness, and your mood. So, what exactly is the migrating motor complex? Well, it's a pattern of electrical waves that sweep through your small intestines. Think of it as a housekeeper wave. As the wave moves along, it cleans out leftover food, bacteria, and waste products that can accumulate between meals. Now, here's a really important point. The MMC only kicks in when your stomach is empty, usually starting about an hour and a half to 2 hours after eating. And it moves in phases, slowly but surely, making sure your gut is ready for the next meal. And without the MMC, undigested food and bacteria would linger too long. And when that happens, it can cause all sorts of disruptions. You can experience bloating, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or SIBO, where the food from the stomach literally begins to ferment because it's sitting too long. You can experience gas and discomfort or poor nutrient absorption, so you're just not getting the nutrients you need from the food you're eating. Another common side effect is that feeling of like you have a brick in your lower stomach. You could also experience stomach cramping or nausea. And maybe one of the most common side effects we see is IBS, or irritable bowel syndrome, where you can have one extreme or the other, either diarrhea or constipation, or sometimes both. You can also get vagus nerve dysfunction, where the signals from the gut to the brain become all mixed up. So you could be having some of these symptoms or all of these symptoms, but they all point towards a problem with the MMC. So you can see how the MMC is so important because it's your gut's built-in self-cleaning mechanism. And without it, things get really messy, and that can happen quickly. So what disrupts the MMC? What's causing these issues? So it's important to know that the MMC only works between meals when you're not eating. So every time you snack between meals, that cycle has to be reset. So here's what commonly disrupts the MMC: frequent grazing or snacking between meals, stress, because we know that cortisol messes with gut motility and causes problems with digestion, poor sleep, because circadian rhythms affect digestion, not in a good way. High sugar diets feed bacteria and slow that motility down. So how can you change this? How can you support your MMC? Well, first of all, you can stop grazing between meals. You want to leave about 3.5 to 4.5 hours between meals. Avoid snacking, especially if you're not truly hungry. Prioritize your sleep because your gut is closely tied to your circadian clock, and go for a walk after meals. Gentle movement aids that motility. It really gets it started. And you don't need long, 10 or 15 minutes after you've eaten will make a big difference. Also, breathing exercises and meditation, because they help to improve stress and stimulate the vagus nerve. Think of your gut like a train system. If the tracks are blocked, blocked by constant eating or stress, nothing moves efficiently. So if you're dealing with digestive issues, fatigue, bloating, or poor mood, it might be time to support your gut's natural rhythm and let your body do what it's designed to do. And remember, a good digestion starts between meals. Like this video if you've learned something new, and subscribe for more gut health insights, and share it with someone who needs to hear this.